I think one of the most humble things in the world is saying to yourself, I don't think I can do this on my own. And I think there's probably some people out there that would say, no, that's a sign of weakness. That just means you're not smart enough. No, I think that means you're smart enough to know that most people never accomplish giant things on their own. And I think that's totally fine and probably necessary.
It took me 30 years of my life to figure this out. People would always say, no one achieves anything great alone. However, what I figured out is that one person raising the bar, reaching the next level, leading by example, raising the standard, can make a great team.
Next Level Nation, today, for episode number 2086, it's arrogant to think you can do it all on your own. Alan and I were chatting. I'm trying to proactively think of episodes like throughout the week, throughout the day. Last night, worked a long day. I think I was having dinner, and I was thinking to myself, I really need to get to sleep. I want to stay up a little bit later tonight. Taryn's gone for the night. She's coming back tonight as the day of us recording this. And I was like, I want to hang out. I want to watch some stuff on YouTube. I kind of want to ride the lightning a little bit.
Yeah, I want to do a little, what we call, I want to fuck off a little.
I want to fuck off a little bit.
Just a little bit.
Yeah, I want to fuck off a little bit. And then I had this moment of, oh no, I just joined an Aura. So we use Aura rings. Again, we're not sponsored. Great product. Big fan.
Link in the show notes. I'm kidding. I'm joking.
Every purchase pays us $25. No.
Yeah, it doesn't.
Great product though. Yeah. Great product. And you started an Aura circle where everybody's going to be able to see my freaking scores.
Next level sleepers, baby.
Next level sleepers.
If you want in, seriously, though, listeners, if
please.
You want to sleep better, Next Level Sleepers, it's a Aura circle. If you have an Aura ring and you want to sleep better, reach out to me.
At some point, tell me this isn't going to happen. We're going to have a fitness accountability WhatsApp group. Well, you already have conscious couples, so the relationship
Health,
part
wealth,
is
and love, baby.
We got to do the wealth part. We're going to have a next level fitness, next level finance accountability group. That's cool.
At some point. Hey,
that's cool.
You're freaking everybody out. You're freaking me out.
I'm freaking you out.
5 years. 5 years.
5 years. Okay, cool. So
I love it. Healthy, wealthy, and in love.
That's the goal. I literally caught myself saying, okay, I am in a group that is going to publicly see my sleep score. I have to have a different behavior. Not great.
Let me take a look.
Yeah, I think I got a 74 or something last night.
Let me take a quick look.
But that's what
Sorry.
Yeah, please. Go, you want me to continue?
67. Ooh.
Yeah, not rough one last night.
Rough one. 92 for the kid.
Yeah, what did I get? 6 hours and 30 minutes, something like that.
So what you don't know, but I don't want to tell you, is I can't go into it.
Oh,
you only see the high-level scores. I don't think you can go into it.
I don't even know how to access this. I don't even know if I can.
You think I can see all your stats?
Yeah.
No, I can. I wish I didn't tell you this now. I'm kidding. But I can click on it, but I can't see all the...
Oh, well, I assume that's
stats. So I can see your readiness score, your sleep, and your activity.
Okay.
I don't use activity, and you can hide what you don't want me to see.
I don't. You think I care? You could see it all. I could give a shit less.
Okay.
I could care less.
I don't use it for activity. I don't even have my Aura on during
the
my
point
work.
of all this, I do, because I don't care. I wear my wedding ring. I wear my Aura ring. I don't care.
How does that not fuck up your grip, man?
Oh, if you saw the, look at this massive. Yeah, man. Also, my wedding ring is made out of like tungsten or something, and if my finger breaks with it on, they have to amputate my finger. I'm like, I'll take my chances. I'm all right with that. I'll take my chances. Yeah, I kind of like the little piece of me that kind of likes it, you know?
You are a reckless person.
As of right now, I have 10 fingers, and my goal is to keep all 10 of them. The reason I'm even telling this freaking story, I know I'm off on a tangent, is public accountability is an amazing thing. It is a pain in the ass, and it is stressful, and it makes you think and overthink and double think and triple think the things that you do. But when you know somebody else is going to see what you're doing, you are more likely to do the right thing. You just are. Mm-hmm. You just are. Let's say you go to the grocery store and you're the only person there. You take your groceries out in the cart. You fill your car up with your groceries. You might not put your cart back. If there is a group of people standing there just watching you with your cart,
you put your cart back,
you're going to do it. Or you're going to feel like a giant asshat. And nobody wants to feel like a giant asshat. That's what we're talking about today. yes, it's scary sometimes to be part of an accountability group or have some built-in accountability. But what I said to Alan before we did this episode was, if you're afraid of failing in public in front of people, it's going to be really hard to succeed in front of people. And it's just that extra necessity. When we do the 10 pound and 10 week challenge, I'm more fired up for sure. When we do things like that, I'm always more fired up. Somebody asked me recently, they said, how do you guys stay so consistent with the podcast? I said, it's in the fucking intro. Self-improvement in your pocket every day. That piece is massive. I mean, it's part of our branding. It's part of our identity. And we have built in a public accountability. I can't talk to save my life.
It must be the 67 sleep score, or 62.
It's not great.
So
anytime Alan rubs his hands together, something's about to happen.
I'm excited. There's a lot here. 3 things that I work on in coaching is identity, process, and results. People come to me, they say they want this result. Well, we got to work on the identity and the process. And when you mentioned the cart and 50 people sitting there waiting for you to put your cart back, this is a weird duality for me, because I actually think you should become the type of person that puts the cart back regardless of who the fuck is watching.
I agree, 1,000%.
I know. However, simultaneously, you are more likely to put the cart back when people are watching. And so you have to get that leverage on yourself. I told Kev before we hit record my take on this episode. I think it's dangerous to be on one end or the other. If you only ever want to do things by yourself, you're basically not leveraging social learning, and you're not leveraging community, and you're not leveraging belonging. It's like you're not leveraging, if you want to be the best, you have to compete with the best. In sports, you got to play harder teams if you want to get better. And you got to be on a great team that you fight for more than just yourself. You're in it for your other players, you're in it for your family, you don't want to let them down, that kind of thing. But if you require social necessity in everything you do, you're basically fucked, because when you're behind the scenes alone, you're not going to make good choices. And so there's 2 extremes that I don't think anyone should be on. If you're on the extreme of I want to do it myself, who I am and what I am when no one watches is all that matters, you're probably not leveraging all the cylinders in your car in this metaphor. You're definitely not. Because one of the things that's most motivating in the human condition is social accountability and social learning and social necessity and wanting to look good in front of your peers. Or more importantly, not wanting to look bad. And we talked about the embarrassment thing. But you also have to be willing to be embarrassed. That's the weird duality about all this. That's why it's so hard. But if you're on the other end of I need to have a wedding coming up in order to get in the gym, then you're also screwed, because you're going to have to basically manufacture fitness shows or weddings or photo shoots every time you want to actually be disciplined. So to me, it's like a 5-cylinder car. And one of the cylinders in the 5-cylinder car, if you want that extra 20% of fucking fire, you got to do something like the 10 pound and 10 week challenge, or Kevin has a bachelor party coming up he wants to be shredded for, or a wedding coming up. I often say most people before their wedding, the 3 months before, they kick ass in the gym. Most people, statistically, I would love to see the fucking stats on that. How many people work out consistently before their own wedding? That I would love to see the stats on that. Are they doing it because they aspire to be healthy? No, they're doing it because they don't want to look like shit at their wedding. In the wedding photos, they're going to be there for their family and for their family's family and for their grandkids and for all that stuff. So to me, you got to get so much leverage on yourself. And you and I think, I'll never forget when I was with Brandon, shout out to you, brother. I broke down why he did so well in football. And I put Brandon in the center on Zoom, and I put all the things around it. I said, you had an offensive coach. You had a defensive coach. You were named team captain, so your players believed in you, and you had a responsibility there. Your grandfather believed in you. Your dad believed in you. Your grandfather was hard on you, so you had good cop, bad cop. And the school counted on you. You wanted to be popular. He didn't really care about being popular, but he was popular because of it. You also were told you can't do it because you're too small. There's the chip on your shoulder. Luckily, you were ignited by that. You also had a dream and a goal, and you had clear milestones. You also had a game every Sunday, so you can't slough off on Monday through Friday. The group coaching, by the way, is completely designed on all this. people that come into NLU and into the community, they're always more motivated. And it's because the environment is by design that way. Everyone who joined the 10 pound and 10 week challenge, by the way, reach out to me if you want to join because we're still in the beginning, but I'm going to cut that off in basically a week. But when you come into the NLU team or the NLU community, you just are inherently more on point. You're more dialed in. A lot of people track metrics and habits. A lot of people are on point. A lot of people are more consistent. It's because it's what we believe in. But a lot of it is the social necessity piece, is no one wants to let the team down. There's something called status cues and abundance cues and belonging cues. And if you study belonging cues, the team that has the most, so this is going to be, you know how athletes, they slap each other on the butt? They did a research study where they counted the number of those things. Those are called belonging cues. And then statistically, those teams tended to win more. Whereas if someone is in the end zone celebrating by themselves and none of the other players come, that team's fucked. Because it means it's about that person instead of the organization. And so, again, I study all this stuff because I'm trying to create a community and a company of just everyone greatness. And so I had to study all this. But ultimately, you got to leverage this on yourself. And hopefully you have a community of people that hold you fucking accountable. Because 5 years from now, we're all going to arrive. And I hope we arrive somewhere healthy, wealthy, and in love and not lost and despondent and broke.
I had a very humbling moment. I told you about this. I had a very humbling moment where I said to Alan, I was like, it's going to be very weird. So we reinvest all of our money into the business. At some point in the next few years, there will be salaries. I haven't had...
For you and I.
Yes.
They're already...
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. I haven't had control of my own money in at least the last 5 years. For the first 3, we weren't like combined. We weren't a business yet. So whatever I made, I could spend. Whatever you made, you could spend. And I did. So for the last 5 years, I've essentially known that somebody sees everything I spend. Yesterday, when I logged on to meet with Alan, I was like, hey man, I kind of fucked up. And he's like, what's up, man?
Yeah.
I was like, I got burritos 2 days in a row. I had to. I said, Taryn's out of town. I'm really getting ready to dial in the fitness accountability thing. Like I needed a little bit of a cheat, but I know you're going to see that. I know if you track expenses. I don't know. You've been slacking a little bit, so that might have actually gotten through the cracks.
I know that I might see it.
Yeah, I know that you.
Yeah,
I know that you might, and I assume that you will.
Yeah,
that has helped me so much when it comes to spending less money, and I'm already preparing my mind for at some point that extra necessity is not going to be there to the degree that it is today. And I need to make sure that I'm prepared for that.
NLU listener, what is happening? I just wanted to jump in here and let you know, if you want to get to the next level faster, we have a free virtual monthly meetup at the first Thursday of every month. You can connect with like-minded people and become a bigger part of this amazing global community. The link to register will be in the show notes.
To Alan's point, I mean, Alan's going to be coaching me, so I can always say, hey, let's look at my finances together. I'm sure that's going to happen, but I need to develop that skill too. To your point, it's if I'm just relying on public accountability, that's potentially dangerous. And if I'm saying, well, I don't ever want anybody to see what I spend my money on, that's also
you're in trouble with that.
That's also dangerous. So again, this is something that I think it just requires a very, very high level of humility to say, look, my behavior is different when people can see it. I'm more likely to follow through. I'm more likely to be more consistent. I'm more likely to make the decision that my future self is going to thank me for when other people are there. Somebody wrote in the Next Level Fitness accountability group. They joined and they said, this is really outside of my comfort zone, but I'm ready to do this. One, they know that there's a little bit of extra pressure. 2, they know that there could be judgment. There's not going to be in that group, but in groups there can be. And 3, they know that when they say I'm ready, that probably means that they actually really want the result more than anything else. They're saying I'm willing to put myself in an uncomfortable position to the degree I desire the outcome. And I think that's extremely humble. And in the right group, in the right crowd, around the right people, that's never going to look weak. That's appreciated. I love when people say, I had a client say, hey, can you give me like a checklist of the things that we talked about for homework? I won't do it unless I have like extra accountability. Of course I can. Please. I love that. So
It's fire.
Yes.
Yeah, you know what I've started doing in coaching too is when I give homework, I'll usually pull up the previous week's homework or previous bi-week's homework or previous day's homework, depending on how many calls, and we'll do green, yellow, red. Did you complete it? Green. Did you start it and not finish it? Yellow. And did you just fuck off and not do it? Red. And every time there's a little bit of green, yellow, and red. And the extra accountability, I've noticed a huge uptick. That's why we track metrics and habits. Our metrics and habits for our team, we can all see each other's spreadsheets.
Let me ask you a question. We used to do reports. So was it weekly or bi-weekly? We would send.
Everybody saw everybody's stuff.
Everybody saw everybody's stuff. Do you think everybody is less consistent because there's not reports? Yeah.
100%. I think it was Fitbit who first started this whole sort of research study. I don't know. Maybe it was Nike plus Fitbit. I don't know. The point is that when everyone could see each other's steps, everybody walked more. People walking around the fucking parking lot. Like, it's just, some people are more concerned about what people think of them than others. Like, for me, this is probably scary to share, but there's an uptick for sure when people are watching, but not that big. For other people, it's night and fucking day. And it takes humility to own that. For you, there's a bigger uptick than there is for me.
For sure.
And, that's why I lost my fitness shows, because it didn't matter enough that other people knew I tried to win. So, whereas Kev literally would do whatever it took.
I signed up to win.
I got laughed off stage, and Kev would never do that.
No.
It's hilarious. So someone joined I'll read this anonymously, but I want to read this. Hi, Alan. I got this Facebook message. Hi, Alan. Exclamation point. I hope you're doing well. I'm reaching out because I'm eager to participate in your annual Next Level 10-pound and 10-week challenge. I started my journey on May 24th, 2025, weighing in at 200 pounds with a goal to lose between 1 to 2 pounds each week. My next check-in is scheduled for this Saturday. See how thorough? The 31st. And I'm determined to achieve a total weight loss of 20 pounds. I'm seeking your support and expertise to help me transform into my most athletic self this summer. Perfect. That's exactly the point. I'm really looking forward to your guidance and motivation through this challenge. Thank you for creating such an inspiring opportunity. Awesome. Perfect. So that's someone who has the humility to know that they're better off with accountability than without it. Because a lot of times, and I've said this to clients before too, I said, you will do more for me than you will for you. So I'm going to do this for you. I'm sick and tired of watching you not track. Like, get it the fuck together, or you're not coaching with me anymore. And I'm not saying that to be toxic. I'm saying that because guess who tracks every day now? It's awesome, right? And I ping the team. I say, hey, Amy, you're 7 days behind on your tracking, or you're 4 days behind, or 3 days behind, or whatever it is. And I'm doing the same deal. I'm 3 days behind right now. Seriously. Like,
that's why I was laughing
my sheet
for that reason, because it's like, I've been last few months, I've been 3, 4, 5 days behind for sure.
It's brutal, man.
Yeah.
Sometimes you fall a little behind. That doesn't mean that you don't do it. And I always update it. So I've been tracking habits Brandon's been tracking habits since 2020. I've had some people tracking habits for 6 years. Dude, it's unbelievable what can happen. I mean, his whole life is transformed night and day compared to what it was. I have one person counting the days up to their certification, 3 people actually doing that now. It's just awesome. So get a coach, get a mentor, have public accountability. That's another reason marriage is so powerful. Emilia, I'm accountable to her, dude. Like, and she's accountable to me. Imagine if I work every Saturday and she's fucking off. Like, that's not how you build up dreams together. Imagine I'm working every Saturday and you're not. We have accountability on accountability on accountability. You have accountability from Taryn. We have accountability from each other. I have accountability with Emilia. We have accountability with our community. We have accountability with our clients. Sometimes you feel like you're doing things for your clients that we're not doing on our show. Sometimes I feel like I'm doing things for our clients that I don't have time to do on my own. So we have so much accountability, and that is 100% an unsung hero cheat code that I think everybody needs more of for sure. I have one person who's 4 times a week. She never misses. And it's not just for her. It's because she doesn't want to let me down. She doesn't want to let the team down. She doesn't want... It's so obvious to me. And this is what I've learned as a coach too. I'm actually doing people a favor by staying on top of them. That used to be hard for me because I used to feel a little bit like a dictator. And then eventually I realized, you know what? You're hiring me for this reason. I'm very upfront and I say, I care about your success first. your fulfillment second, and your feelings third, I'm going to hold you accountable. I'm not your fucking friend. Okay? We can be friendly, but I care more about your next level than this current level. And I'm the only person in your life who's going to care. No one else cares if you're super successful. No one else cares that you have a six-pack. No one gives a shit that you have a six-pack. Seriously. Like, I do. And that's why I called Joe way back.
You want to see it?
I didn't want to be alone.
Send you a picture when we get off. A signed 8x10.
I love it, man. You're jacked again. That's awesome. But at one point, I was like, brother, what the fuck is going on here?
We're trying to grow the business, you know? Let's trying to grow the business.
But I thought that was helpful.
It was super helpful, for sure. Yeah, it was super helpful. Now, again, maybe if you're out there, you don't need that direct level of feedback, but that's the relationship Alan and I have, and I've said
and
worse
he's
to
given
him.
it to me too.
Yeah, I've said worse to him. But I knew that's what you needed to hear, and it was.
I was feeling myself, and you're like, dude, that ain't it.
It's like, wait. You think you're in shape? Like, why are you talking like you're hot shit? Like, you and I are wildly out of shape. Like, you can't think that. We can't think that. And you're like, well, Kev, you're out of shape too. I know that. I know that. You don't know that. We're Jeff here.
Yeah, delusion is not good for real results.
It's not good for real results. But this is really this is something that is behind the scenes, under the current, that most people just don't see. But that is one of the reasons we are so consistent. That if we took it out of our intro, if it came out of our branding, I have been on 1,000 podcasts where I literally say this on purpose. We do an episode every day, and we're most likely going to do that until we die. That.
Whoa.
And I said, I don't know. If I'm 80, I don't know. Am I going to be at a podcast anymore? I think so. But even that, it's like, essentially,
back in my day, ChatGPT was in its infancy.
All you're doing is signing yourself up for something. This is all you're doing. You're saying, I'm going to go into a group where people are going to hold me accountable to do the thing I said I wanted to do, even when I don't feel like I want to do it. That's all. That's all you're doing, and that is my next level lesson. What is your next level lesson?
Okay, I got book club in 3 minutes. Speaking of accountability for reading more books. My next level lesson is this. I did the traditional path of preschool, kindergarten, middle school, high school, college, and corporate. Kevin was with me for all of that except for college and corporate. And then we reunited as entrepreneurs. When I got out of corporate, I realized I am not as productive as I thought. It used to be the bell rings, be in class, report cards and progress reports, social accountability on social accountability on social accountability. And then when you start a company, no one cares if you do your YouTube videos. No one cares if you XYZ. So it was like, uh-oh. So I bought this productivity planner. I'm not selling this, by the way. I'm not selling this. This is not ours. We have one called the Dreamliner that's way better. But way back in the day, I was like, I have to do something. I have to pay some money to be more productive. And this thing promised me I'd be 200% more productive. It was way better than that. I actually bought several of them. And it just holds me accountable to what I say I'm going to do. And there's some good tricks in there. And that's why I started tracking metrics and habits, is because I was realizing I'm lazier than I thought. When I don't have social accountability, I'm lazier than I thought. Laziness is human nature. You have to overcome that shit if you want to reach the next level. So that's my next level lesson, is it takes humility to admit that the people who admit they're kind of lazy are actually the hardest working people in the world.
It's fair. Okay, cool. If you are looking for extra accountability and you are a podcaster, July 8th, 2025, our next round of group coaching starts. So it is the Next Level Podcast Accelerator. Podcasting, you grow yourself, you grow your podcast, you turn your podcast into a business. That is ultimately what the goal is. So if you're looking for extra accountability, that is starting on July 8th. Spend your summer with Alan and I growing, scaling, and monetizing your podcast.
Group coaching is built around everything I taught Brandon about why the football team and the organization, why he played D2 football as one of the smallest people. So D3, I think, actually, my bad. But at the end of the day, statistically, someone of his size was never going to make it to that level. The reason he made it to that level is because he's ridiculously hardworking and because he had a ton of these things, these social accountability structures in place. Group coaching is literally designed based on that conversation I had with him.
Boom. All right. As always, we love you. We appreciate you. Grateful for each and every one of you. And at NLU, we don't have fans. We have family. We will talk to you all tomorrow.
Keep it next level. Next Level Nation.